Well, hello, everyone. I'm Glenesha. I'm with Family Network on Disabilities Poppin', and I'm back for another presentation. Today, we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to do what we call a lightning video. And our lightning videos are short 10-minute videos that highlight one of our one-pagers that you can find on our website. Towards the end of the presentation, I will take you to our website where you can see all of the one-pagers and resources that we have. So let's dive into this information. We are going to talk about something that every family hopes they never need, but every family should have. And this is an emergency care plan, especially for children and youth with special health care needs. Emergencies can happen quickly. A storm, a power outage, evacuation, medical emergency, or unexpected disaster can create extra stress for any family. But for families of children and youth with special healthcare needs, planning ahead can make a major difference in safety, comfort, and continuity of care. So before we begin, I want to share who we are at Family Network on Disabilities. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have been around for over 35 years. We are a free service because of our grants by the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Health. What we do is provide services that give you information, training, resources, and support for families, youth, educators, and professionals, and those who are their own cheerleaders. We have served families, like I said, for over 35 years. I can't believe that. I'm 41, so it's been around for a long time, and I'm so glad that I am a part of this wonderful organization. I mentioned my name, but I have been with FND for almost 3 years now, and it has been such a wonderful experience. FND's goal is to help families feel informed, supported, and better prepared to be cheerleaders for their children. It's important that I share our disclaimer each time I come before you. Our disclaimer states that the information shared in our videos and our resources is for educational purposes only. It is not medical, legal, or emergency management advice. Every child's needs are different, so please be sure to speak with your child's doctor, specialist, school team, emergency management office, or other trusted professionals when creating or updating your family's emergency plan. Now, I want to circle back because I did say this information is for educational purposes only. Although I am a teacher and I have taught in the school system and I currently teach privately, I am not somebody coming to you right now as an educator. I'm coming to you as a parent training and information center, parent training and information center representative. So I am a parent training coordinator, although I am a teacher as well. So these are for educational purposes, but I want to make sure that you understand we are not trying to claim that we are part of the school system or anything of that nature. So let's talk about what an emergency plan is and why it matters. Why emergency planning matters. And as I speak, you are welcome to look at this slide. Planning is extremely important because emergencies are often unpredictable. Think about somebody going into labor. Think about a lightning storm that was worse than the news people had anticipated it being. When something stressful happens, it can be difficult to remember every medication, allergy, medical device, phone number, or care instruction. An emergency plan helps keep important information in one place so you are not trying to remember everything in the middle of a crisis. And I remember this because when I was teaching phlebotomy a couple of classes ago, I had a student conk out, just faint. And I went into mommy mode and I went right into caring for him, but I could not remember our school's address. I couldn't remember our school's phone number. And one of my other students had the wherewithal to pull hers off together to get that information so we could take care of our students that we had. I almost said take care of our family, but they're like my family, they're my adult children. But that lets you know to make sure that you have information posted where it is visible. So in the time of an emergency, you can go and you can look at it and be able to call for help. For children or youth with special healthcare needs, Planning can help first responders, school staff, relatives, neighbors, or temporary caregivers understand what your child needs and what steps to take. And this is for individual needs. Every child is different. One child in an emergency is going to be handled one way, while another child is going to be handled differently, especially when it comes to which hospital to go to, what type of treatment they're going to receive. It can also help your family leave home quickly, communicate with providers, and continue important routines as much as possible. And this is very important for some of our little ones living with disability. They thrive with routine. And if routine doesn't continue, it actually can set them back. So, what do we include in the emergency care plan? An emergency care plan should be comprehensive. It should include the information someone would need to safely care for your child if you were not able to explain everything in the moment. Start with your child's basic information. This includes their full name, but also include their nickname because that might give them comfort to be called their nickname. Their date of birth, diagnosis, or health condition, communication needs like assistive technology, a tablet, or something of that nature, and preferred ways to be comforted or supported. And this is a huge thing. Our children who are living with disabilities definitely need to know that they are comforted and they are supported. And so, whatever supports they have for that, whether it be a blanket, whether it be their tablet, whether it be something that is out of the ordinary, like a snack or something of that nature, make sure that information is included. Next, a current medication list. We focus on families who have children ages 0 to 26, but I am a strong cheerleader for everyone carrying a medication list. This is extremely important because medications can have interactions with each other. And so we want to make sure that if we are in an emergency and someone needs to know what medications we're on, they can just pull that list out of our backpack or out of our wallet, out of our pocket, something like that. And I am just a strong cheerleader for this because I am somebody who takes a lot of medications and they can have strong interactions with each other or interactions with anesthesia or other pain medications. Next, we want to make sure we have a food allergy list. This is very important as well. In that, you want to include medication allergies, latex allergies, environmental allergies. Be clear about what reaction may happen and what action should be taken. This is very important when it comes to things like peanuts or when it comes to things like shelled fish, when it comes to things like shelled seafood or when it comes to iodine. Iodine is in the shelled seafood, which makes the reaction and have the allergic reaction. But you want to make sure those pieces of information are very clearly stated because you don't want to cause an additional emergency while you are trying to provide care. Another part of the plan should be the child's therapy and treatment schedule. This may include physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, behavioral health services, nursing care, medical treatments, or other supports your child receives. You want to plan for long term. A long term plan should you not be there, or should your child have to be away from you in the care of somebody else. They need to have all of this important information. You should plan also to explain what actions to take during an emergency. For example, what should someone do if your child has a seizure, breathing difficulty, low blood sugar, anxiety, sensory overload, a feeding tube concern, or equipment issue? This reminds me whenever I was doing childcare and I was caring for a child who had a feeding tube. And I was a little nervous about it. I was a lot younger, and my mom is a nurse and she was there helping me. But those are situations where what do I do if something happens with the feeding tube and it gets clogged? These pieces of information can actually be life saving. So we want to make sure we also use direct and simple language. In an emergency, people need instructions they can follow quickly. We want to make sure that we don't use a lot of jargon. We want to be basic pieces of information. If a seizure happens, we do this. Next, and finally, we want to include emergency contact numbers. This should include parents or guardians, backup caregivers, doctors, specialists, pharmacy, medical supply companies, school contacts, insurance information, and local emergency resources. And this needs to be an exhaustive list because you just never know what will happen. You may have two or three people on your emergency contact list, and the day an emergency happens, nobody is able to get in touch with them. So I would encourage you to go ahead and have five or six people, just somebody who can be contacted in case an emergency happens to let them know what is going on with your child or even yourself. Next, we want to think about equipment and supplies. Many children and youth with special health care needs rely on equipment, supplies, or technology, their feeding tube, their breathing tube, their breathing machine, things like that. Your emergency plan should include a list of these items. This may include a wheelchair, walker, oxygen, feeding supplies, ventilator, suction machine, communication device, hearing aids, glasses, braces, diapers, formula, batteries, chargers, or backup power sources. Especially, you want to make sure you have extra glasses. I am somebody who wears glasses, and I, by default, always purchase two pairs of glasses now when I go and buy glasses. But this just reminded me I need to probably purchase three pair of glasses so I can put one of those in my emergency plan kit. Of course, diapers if you have a little one, formula as well too, and batteries, batteries, batteries. As well, you want to include a lighter and matches and candles. Always, though, make sure that all of these different sources that can help you during a time where you may have a power outage or something of that nature is kept away from your children in a safe place. Families may also want to prepare a small emergency supply kit. I just spoke about having my own. This can include copies of the care plan, medications, medical supplies, comfort items, snacks, water, chargers, and copies of important documents. And these chargers are very important because we live and die by our computer or our phone or our tablet. So I'm somebody, I have chargers everywhere. I have chargers here at my work desk. I have chargers at the phlebotomy school where I teach at. I have chargers in my truck. When I go out of town, I have an extra charger in my bag to make sure that we never have to lose contact because we have to have our contact. That's how the world is going round today. For children who use electricity dependent medical equipment, it is important to think ahead about power outages because they can happen anytime. I live in Florida. This is Hurricane Alley, but we also have lightning storms and thunderstorms, flash floods. And there have been many times where I remember our power going out. And we're like, oh my gosh, where are our candles? Are our chargers near? Excuse me, not are our chargers near? Are our phones charged up? Are our computers charged up? And it can be very scary. Just take a moment to think about how attached we are to our devices. As I was mentioning earlier, we kind of live and die by that. So we want to make sure that we have enough chargers. Next, we want to make the plan easy to find. We want a plan that only, excuse me, a plan only helps if people can access it when needed. You can have a wonderful and beautiful plan, but it does not help if it is locked in your safe and nobody has the code or the key. So this is why you want to have copies everywhere. It can be a tedious job at first, but you'll be very thankful once you have done all of that and an emergency happens and you have a copy of the plans in your truck or your car, a copy of the plans in the parents' bedroom, a copy of the plans even in the bathroom. Emergencies happen in the bathroom as well. A copy of plans in your purse or your child's backpack. You can never be too prepared because as we're learning, anything can happen at any time. Keep one copy at home in an easy to find place. Keep another copy in your emergency bag. You may also want to give a copy to trusted relatives, caregivers, the school nurse, or another member of your child's care team. It may also help to keep an electronic copy on your phone or in a secure online folder. Just make sure the people who need it know where it is. You can visit our website, and this will give you some more tips on how to make sure that you can create a very good emergency plan. And at this moment, I want to take you to our website at fndusa.org. So let me move us over there. So this is fndusa.org. When you go to the website, you are going to see this pop up. And it gives you some options to speak with someone, a real person, find a resource, find an event. If we click on explore resources, it will take you to our resource hub. And we have some valuable information on our resource hub. And I am going to click on our special education, excuse me, special healthcare needs. Family Star is our special healthcare needs provider. And there's our disability emergency plan right there. Mental health in young adults, steps to a healthcare plan, disability related stress. All of these things are under our Family Star program. And then you can look at bullying strategies, tips for IEP meetings. Our website gives you all types of information for disability and ESC services. All the way down to our Florida Medicaid waiver program. So I encourage you to take some time to visit our website at www.fndusa.org, and this will give you a lot of wonderful information. So now I'm going to take us out of this. Let me exit out. And then I want to share with you a government website called ready.gov. This is a beautiful resource that I just stumbled upon actually in preparing this presentation. It is Wildfire Awareness Month. In Florida, we do have to be concerned about wildfires. I remember several years ago, my family and I had to evacuate because we could see the fire across the way. There's nothing like leaving your home, not sure if when you return, it will still be there. That was a very, very scary feeling. And to be honest, we were not prepared for that. We were getting ready to lay down and take a nap because it was Sunday afternoon after church. We quickly packed up everything that was of value, but that was very hard. So think about if you don't have an emergency care plan, you're dealing with that and the fact that you may lose your home. When you come back, your home may not be there. We know this because of many of the California wildfires that we've seen over the years. Unfortunately, people leave and they come back and they don't have their home. So you definitely want to have the care plan to help you make plans for after all the destruction happens. So you can take some time to go to ready.gov and it gives you information on preparation for thunderstorms and lightning, tornadoes, power outages. Make a plan form as well here. So I'm going to click on that and you can make your plan for your family. And then it says you can have it emailed to yourself in a PDF file once you complete it. So you put all your information here. And then we scroll all the way down. And then we put our email address and then we submit it and it will be sent to you. Now, you can also go on ChatGPT, you can go on the different AI websites, you can go on Google and just search for an emergency plan template. If you want to be very specific and customized for each child or for your family, you can go and make one on AI, ChatGPT, Google, all the different other AI sites, and that might work better for you. I'm somebody who likes a customized plan, and I want everyone who looks across my information to be able to look at it for the first time and understand it. Because the more time we have to take to understand something, the less time we have to provide care. And there can be some critical situations where we need to provide care as soon as possible. So I'm going to close this out and go back to our presentation here. And so the next thing we want to discuss is reviewing and updating the plan. An emergency care plan should not be created once and forgotten. Things change in life so quickly. One day, your child is on this medication. Next month, they're on a different medication. Children grow, medications change, providers change, phone numbers change, school plans change, medical needs may change. Set a reminder to review your plan at least twice a year. So basically every 6 months. A good time to do this may be before hurricane season, before the school year begins, or after any major medical change. Also, update the plan whenever your child starts or stops medication, receives a new diagnosis, changes doctors, gets new equipment, or has a change in emergency instructions. For me, I would make sure that I updated and reviewed this plan probably 3 times a year if I'm speaking for myself, because I have some medical concerns that are ever changing. And also, too, I have aging parents and things can happen very quickly. And so I would make sure I would look at it 3 times a year. But again, this is customized to you and your family, you and your child. And so you do what works best for you. And we will offer as many resources that we can. So we want to be sure to practice our plan. Creating a plan is the first step, and practicing the plan is very important. We don't want to wait till the emergency happens to practice it, because then we're not practicing. We are having to execute whatever we know. Talk with your child in a way that matches their age and understanding. Let them know who may help them during an emergency and what they can expect. Practice simple steps such as where to go during severe weather, what to pack, how to contact a trusted adult, or how to use a communication card. I remember when I was growing up, my mom had a communication card put in my backpack, and then she had to quiz me on my phone number to make sure that I remembered my phone number as well as my address. These are key things, simple things that will really help when an emergency comes. Because I know firsthand as well, when an emergency comes, everything gets kind of chaotic for that moment. And you kind of forget things for a moment. You actually have to practice making sure that you can stay in control and remain calm. And the more you practice it, the better it will be when you actually have to execute it. So the goal is not to scare our children. We want to remember that. The goal is to help everyone feel more prepared. You can also talk to your child's school, your child's childcare program, and respite providers to make sure emergency procedures are included in the child's individual needs. So we're going to end on this. Emergencies can be overwhelming, but preparation can bring peace of mind. And I can say that because I've been through emergencies myself. And when I am not working as a parent training coordinator and working as a phlebotomy instructor, I have to be ready for emergencies such as fainting. I have to be prepared for emergencies such as seizures. I have to be prepared for emergencies such as hemorrhaging. And so it's very important to make sure that in whatever situation you are in, if you're at work, if you're at home, if you are on a vacation, whatever your career is, if you work at a factory, if you work at a hospital, if you work in a classroom, there is some type of emergency care plan. But this, we of course are focusing on our family emergency care plan. And so I encourage you to really take this webinar seriously and prepare your plan for you and your family. You do not have to complete your plan perfectly in one setting. You want to start with the most important and critical information and then add over time. And remember, planning ahead is one way to protect your child, support your family, and help others respond with confidence if an emergency happens. And again, at Family Network on Disabilities, we are here to support families and children and youth with disabilities and healthcare needs through our information, through our training, our resources, and our support. So we are coming up on hurricane season, and I am in Bay County, but I serve 11 counties across the Panhandle. If you are watching this and you have an agency or a homeschool group or a church group, and you would like for me to come and bring this presentation to you in person or virtually, I can do so. And I have some disaster readiness booklets I can give to you, and of course, some free F&D swag. But I feel very passionate about this because I am a native to Florida. I'm a North Florida girl, and my state is very important to me, and I love my state, and I want to make sure that everybody has this information before an emergency happens. So you are welcome to reach out to me. You can scan the QR code that you see on the screen next to me, and you can reach out to me that way. So thank you so much for watching. And I want you to take a few minutes to review your emergency plan or to update your plan. It is one of those steps that can make a real difference when every moment matters. And this is very, very true. I really enjoyed my time with you, and I look forward to doing another lightning video in the future. Take care, and I hope you all have a super week. Bye-bye.